Good afternoon, students. So today you have to perform the experiment Norton's theorem. So the experiment is to study and verify Norton's theorem using dual sources. So how to solve any circuit diagram using dual sources? Already I have discussed in case of Thevenin's theorem. On last class I discussed that. Now see, this is the circuit diagram which you have to solve for Norton's theorem, and this circuit diagram already I shared to your group, to WhatsApp group. Now see, try to compare the circuit diagram with the fabricated or designed circuit in the breadboard. Now see, this is the circuit diagram which I have made. Now I will show the resistances one by one. See the first one, the first resistance, see very carefully. See this resistance. This is what? Color coding. See the color coding. Red, brown. See the color coding. It's red, brown. So red, brown is 220 ohm. First is 220 ohm if you see from the left hand side. Second resistance. See, after 220 ohm, the next resistor, vertical resistor is, see, this is, see it very carefully, yellow, violet, black. Yellow, violet, and the third one is brown. So this is what? Yellow, violet, brown. This is 470 ohm. Next, again see this resistor, it is very clearly visible, red, brown. So red, brown is again your 220 ohm. And this resistor, see it, this is again yellow, violet, brown, yellow, violet, brown. So this is again 470 ohm. And 330 ohm resistor I have not connected. Why? Because first of all you have to find the parameter ISC, that is short circuit current. And you know, for finding short circuit current you have to remove the load resistance. So in this case the load resistor is 330 ohm, so which you have to remove. So this is A terminal and this is B terminal. So actually if you want to see, this is actually my 330 ohm resistor. This should be connected like this. Okay, so this is A terminal and this is B terminal. Now for finding the short circuit current, first of all this load resistor, that is 330 ohm resistor, is to be removed. Now you have to find the short circuit current between these two terminals, means between A and B terminal. So we will make this arrangement. So now this is your supply, this is source. Now see very carefully, three set of buttons are there, so we will use this set and this set, because two sources are there, one is 5 volt source and another is 10 volt source. So this set of buttons we will use for 5 volt source and this set of buttons we will use for 10 volt source. Now see the value. So when we are considering, first of all we are fixing the voltage for this set. So as I am considering the buttons of the section A, so you have to press the knob of the section A. Now see, what is the voltage? See, it is nothing but 5 volt. Is it visible? This is 5 volt. So we have fixed 5 volt for this section. Now these buttons are buttons of the section C. So for that you have to press the knob of the section C. Now see, I have already fixed this of the voltage. This value is 10, that is 10 volt. So 5 volt source is fixed here and 10 volt source is fixed here. So button A is, knob A is used for fixing 5 volt source and knob C is used for fixing 10 volt source. Now again come to here. So the connecting wires are to be connected. Now see, the connecting wire which is coming from the red button, that is from the positive terminal, that should be connected with the open end of the first 220 ohm. See this, that means you have to connect this connecting wire, lead of the connecting wire at the same vertical line where the open lead of the 220 ohm is connected. So see, same vertical lines, I have connected these two leads at the same vertical line. And this terminal connecting wire coming from the black wire or black button, that is the negative terminal, that should be connected at the common point. That means at the vertical line where one lead of the first 470 ohm is connected. Now see, this wire coming from the black knob, that is negative terminal, this has been connected at the vertical line where 470 ohm is connected. So these two are connected at the same vertical line. Similarly, the negative terminal or connecting wire coming from the negative terminal of 10 volt, that should be also connected at the common terminal. See, now see this very carefully. The connecting wire coming from the negative terminal of the 5 volt, connecting wire coming from the negative terminal of the 10 volt, these two are connected at the same vertical line. These two are connected at the same vertical line where one lead of the first 470 ohm is connected. Okay, now the connecting wire coming from the positive terminal of the 10 volt, that should be connected where that should be connected at the open lead of the second, that should be connected at the open lead, this is the open lead of the second 470 ohm resistor. So this is the second 470 ohm resistor and it is connected, this wire is connected at the open lead of the second 470 ohm. So these two are connected at the same vertical line. Okay, so this is the connection. Now you have to, first of all you have to measure the ISC, that is short circuit current. For that, arrange the multimeter accordingly. So this red terminal should be connected at the ampere and this knob should be placed at the ampere mode, DC ampere mode. Now see, So find out the AB terminal. This is A terminal and this is B terminal. Actually short circuit current, so we have to connect one connecting wire between these two terminals, that is between A and B, where the 330 ohm resistance was placed. So in order to measure 330 ohm, actually what we have to connect, we can't connect this wire between these two terminals, because we have to connect one lead of this connecting wire at the common terminal and other lead has to be kept open, because we have to place two terminals of the multimeter here. That means, in order to measure the current, always multimeter is to be placed in series. So multimeter is to be placed between these two terminals so that we can get the value of current. Now see, we are getting our desired current. What is our short circuit current? ISC 0.030 ampere. See the multimeter. Is showing 0.033. So 0.030 ampere and it is showing 0.033 ampere. Okay, that's okay. So this is your current. So this is a short circuit current. Now we have to make the arrangement for obtaining equivalent resistance R, that is Norton resistance. For that, what you have to do? You have to make the circuit passive. That means you have to remove all the connecting wires. That means you have to detach the connection of the circuit diagram with the power supply. And you have to see now. So as this voltage source, the voltage source between the first 220 ohm, the one lead of the open lead of the first 220 ohm and the common point is replaced by short circuit. So you can directly connect this terminal, this open terminal of the 220 ohm with this common point, which will make it shorted. Okay. And here, so this open lead of the second 470 ohm should also be connected at the common point. Now where the terminal of the multimeter is to be placed? Terminal of the multimeter is to be placed between A and B. That means between, which is A, this is point A and this is point B, where the load resistor 330 ohm was connected. Now see the multimeter. Multimeter again, see, you have to place this knob at the ohm mode and you have to connect this red terminal at the volt. Place the red terminal at the volt and ohm. As ohm is the ohm unit is given here, so you have to place this red terminal of the multimeter here. Now see, we will measure the value. So you can see the multimeter also. Just a minute. 202.0. So this is the resistor, Norton resistor. And finally the current, that is load current. So for that again you have to make the circuit active. So again make the connection as we have connected earlier. So this should be connected, the negative terminal, that is black terminal, should be connected at the common point, and from the 10 volt source the black terminal should be connected at the common point. And this red terminal should be connected at the open lid of the 470. And 330 ohm should be connected between the A and B terminal. So this should be connected between A and B terminal. A terminal and B terminal is the common point. Okay. Now as we have to measure the current, that is load current. Load current means the current moving through this load. This is the load resistor 331. That's why you have to remove any one terminal of this resistor so that you can place the multimeter in series with this resistor. So we are removing the lead of this 470 ohm from the terminal A. Now we are placing one lead of the multimeter at the terminal A and the other lead of the multimeter at the open lead of the 330, so that we can measure the current. Okay, I am showing you the multimeter reading also. you have to, as you are measuring current, so you have to place this red lid here at the ampere terminal, and you have to place this knob at the DC ampere. Okay, your calculated value of current is 0.011. Okay. Just a minute. Or 17 to 20. See the multimeter. Say it is 0. What? How much? Zero point 011. Is it visible? 0.011. So this is your load current, which is matching exactly. So thus you have to perform. Next you have to write all the values in the observation table like this. Okay, that is first of all, in first column parameters, second column calculate, as I said earlier, second column calculated value, third column observed value, and fourth column deviation. And in parameters column you have to write short circuit current, then you have to write the calculated value of ISC. Here you have to write the observed value of ISC. So calculated value I have already calculated, and here the observed value, whatever you have got, you have to write. Then you have to write the Norton resistance, that is calculated values of value of Norton resistance and observed value of Norton resistance, as well as you have to write both the calculated and observed value of load current. And finally in the deviation column you have to find the difference, to get the difference between calculated value and observed value for each of these parameters. So thus you have to perform the Norton's theorem using dual sources. Thank you all for this class.